Hello everybody, this is the notes for Algebra 2 Trig, section 5.5, dealing with the quadratic formula. Now, most of you have seen the quadratic formula, used it before. So, this first video, I'd like to prove where the quadratic formula comes from. So, you're just going to start with the generic, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Quadratic formula is used to solve a quadratic equation. So we're trying to solve for x. And again, you got your x squared term, x term, you set it equal to 0. So we're going to do this by completing the square. All right, to complete the square, first step, get the x squared to be a coefficient of 1. So we're dividing everything by a. X squared plus b over ax plus c over a still equals 0. All right, we are going to concentrate on the terms with the variable x in it. You could subtract c over a to the other side. I just choose to do it towards the end. All right, completing the square, we're going to take our coefficient of x, b over a. We're going to cut it in half. So that gives us b over 2a, and then square it. So that, I'm going to leave it like that for now. Okay, but that's the quantity that we're going to add in. So we have x squared plus b over ax plus b over 2a quantity squared. Okay, we're adding it into, or onto the left side. We still have this c over a. We have to add the same quantity onto the other side. Okay, it keeps the equation balanced. Now, all right, sorry for that little pause. The door was open and lunch is changing. So, this new trinomial here, this factors, it's going to be x plus, it's always that number that we squared. So x plus b over 2a, quantity squared. We have plus c over a equal 2. And now I'm going to do the square here. This is b squared over 4a squared. Squaring the numerator and denominator, squaring both of the factors of 2a. Okay, now we are solving for x. Okay, that's what the quadratic formula does. It solves for x. So we want to get this so it says x equals. Okay, so I'm going to subtract the c over a. So that gives us the x plus 2, or x plus b over 2a, quantity squared, equal to b squared over 4a squared. To subtract these, we got to get common denominators. So I need to multiply top and bottom by 4a. So what we get is minus 4ac all over 4a squared, x plus b over 2a squared equals. You probably don't see a lot of teachers doing this because it just takes forever. Well, we're already 3.5 minutes in. We're maybe halfway. I think a little bit past halfway. But, all right, we got some common denominators here. So you're just subtracting numerators. B squared minus 4ac. That looks familiar in the quadratic formula. All of that is over 4a squared. Again, we are solving for x. So now, take the square root of both sides of this. So, x plus b over 2a equals a positive or negative. All right, b squared minus 4ac, that numerator, we can't take the square root of it. It's not a perfect square. There's two terms. We've got all kinds of reasons we can't. So we're just going to leave it. Square root b squared minus 4ac all over the denominator, 4a squared. So off to the side, the square root of 4a squared, because that's multiplication and because they're both perfect squares, that's just 2a. Again, that's starting to look familiar for quadratic formula. Now to solve for x, our last step, subtract b over 2a. Extend the page one more time. So we get x equals, this is a subtraction of b over 2a on both sides. Then we had this plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over the 2a. Notice how we have common denominators that we are adding or subtracting together. And that gives us our quadratic formula. We'll do it in green for a cheerful color. Negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac. All of this was over 2a. Hooray, quadratic formula. Okay, that's where it comes from. It's just a generic ax squared plus bx plus c, and you completed the square to solve for x. That's the quadratic formula. The next video, we'll talk about some examples and some other things that can come from this and go with it.